How do you leave a relationship that never got started? I'm going to go over three things in this video. Number one, what is a relationship? It's very critical and important that you get this and you truly grasp this and understand this and apply it into your life. And I'm going to show you how to apply it into your life in all of your relationships. Number two, what is it to start and what is it to leave a relationship? What do these things actually entail and what does it look like? And these are things that you haven't actually considered. Once you understand relationships, you will be able to consider them. And number three, what you actually mean by never getting started in a relationship and how do you leave that relationship. I want to change your paradigm so that you appreciate it correctly and you don't misappreciate it and have the wrong outcome. It's going to help you a lot, and I'm going to give you some 3 tips at the very end of this video. Really pay attention to that. I think you're really going to love it. It's one of my favorite tips ever when it comes to relationship building. Are you ready? Number 1, what is a relationship? You've heard me say this before, and it's very important you grasp this because this will be the fundament to all of your ideas and all of your methods and strategies when it comes to relationship building. It will make you very successful in all of your life and all of your relationships. What I mean by all of your relationships? I mean your friendships, your social, your familial relationships, and your professional relationships. What do I mean by professional? I mean your colleagues, your clients, your customers, your supervisors, your business partners. Your life will become better in every single way when you really, truly appreciate this one fundamental idea, which is the premise of the way you think and the way you appreciate how to build your life. Are you ready? A relationship is how you interact and interface with entities, how you interact and interface with things, objects, and people. My relationship with my cat, how I interact and interface with my cat, is that my cat appreciates that I'm its master, and I appreciate and love that I am its owner and master. And this needn't occur with words. This is appreciated wordlessly. My relationship to this planet, Earth, is that I am its inhabitant, and Earth's relationship with me, whether it likes it or not, it doesn't have much of a relationship with me since it doesn't have a consciousness, but I am its inhabitant. My relationship with you, my audience, is that I am, for whatever reason, your relationship with me is, I don't know what that is for you, but my relationship with you is, I am your presenter. I am someone who's imparting value in terms, in the form of information with you. You are my audience. Some of my audience have a deeper relationship with me, a stronger connection with me, and some do not. And what is your relationship with me? How do you interact and interface with me? Do you interact and interface with me in any way, shape, or form? Or am I just someone you just watch on a screen? That is a relationship nonetheless. Do you understand? So how does this make your life better? It makes your life better because you're able to create your relationships much more succinctly, much more specifically, much more dynamically. No longer will you see life and relationships as this person is either sexual or non-sexual in that very bilateral relationship. You're going to make your life, you're going to increase your life's dynamicness. You're going to increase the gamut of the possibilities of outcomes of relationships and dynamics with people when you really grasp this put this into your repertoire, add this to your philosophy. The recognition that you can build your relationship any way you want. Whether sex is involved or not, it's a relationship nonetheless. Do you understand? So you're able to put things into place so that you can create the relationship that you want. You want to create the best friendships that you want? What do you need to put into place to create the best friendships? You want to have a great relationships with your pets? What do you need to do? What do you need to put into place? How do you need to endeavor yourself so you can become a good pet relationship dynamic? pet owner, pet master? What do you need to learn to train your pets? Most pets are very poorly trained. The pets are training their masters rather than their masters training their pets. What do you need to put into place to have amazing sexual relationships and relationship dynamics? What do you need to put into place to have great relationships with your clients and customers? And your business partners, what do you need to put into place? Once you recognize that a relationship is how you interact and interface with entities, you're able to now find out and ask the right questions. The right questions being, what can I put into place? How can I have a better relationship with these entities, specific entities? You no longer see relationship as either black or white, or either sexual or non-sexual, or either significant or acquaintance or friend. Very, very staccato, very lackluster dynamics. Now you're able to live your life, live a bigger life, a more dynamic life, by adding in these, increasing your perspective about relationships. Number 2, what is it to leave or to start a relationship? Beginning with the premise that a relationship is how you interact and interface with people, how you start a relationship is when individuals have recognized they've begun interacting and interfacing with you or them or they or the individuals within that relationship dynamic. You have begun to interact and interface with each other. Number 3, let me answer this question for you. What do you actually mean? What do you actually mean when you want to, how do you leave a relationship which has never started? And this will all come together for you. Let me bring this together for you. Some relationships, what it means to leave a relationship is when you no longer interact and interface. Do you understand? Some relationships you can't leave despite how much you leave it, because such as an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend relationship, an ex-relationship, because you have a relationship with them, a relationship which has no interaction in interfacing, although because you love the person and perhaps you once you loved them and perhaps that love waned. But if you love a person, that love never certainly goes away. And so you want whether you want for their happiness, well-being, and gain, or perhaps your love has waned completely. You have a relationship with them, which is a relationship which you love them, perhaps not so significant as to be sexual, but significant enough to be as a friend. So what is it to leave a relationship? To leave a relationship is when you no longer interact and interface with them. Let that be clear. So number 3, what do you actually mean how do you leave a relationship which has never began? A relationship that's never began was when you never interacted and interfaced in the first place. Perhaps what you mean is that you would like to interact and interface with them in a particular way, which they don't necessarily interact and interface with you in that way. You want them to be more significant to you. You want them to perceive you as more significant in the same way that you want them to be significant with you. Let me give you an example. You want some other person to love you the same way you love them. That's one example that you probably have in mind. And so how do you do that? Let me give you now 3 tips, 3 call to actions for you to take action on this and to really put it into practice in your life. Number 1 is, I want you to enhance yourself. This is the most worthwhile thing you can do. The most worthwhile thing you can do is enhance yourself, endeavor to enhance yourself, because there's nothing better that you can spend your time with. To be a more attraction-worthy person. Someone who's attractive. How do you increase your attractiveness? Now, when I say attractive, I don't mean good looking. Certainly, being good looking is a fantastic endeavor to have. But that's not all of attraction is. You become really, really attractive when you work on different aspects of your life, your personal growth, your behaviors, your attitude about life, your professional development. Did you know you become incredibly attractive when you're professionally develop yourself. When you're when you're into things and after things, which is not the other person, you become an incredible attractant, man or woman. Because I mention that because women and men have always recognized that a man who is going after things that are outside of the woman is really attractive. But women haven't recognized that you have to be into your own things. When you're only into your man, and because you're beautiful, you don't necessarily pursue things outside career-wise or things that you are passionate about, the man will lose their attraction for you. Savvy? Nothing more worthwhile than endeavoring to enhance yourself to become attraction worthy. Increase your professional development, your personal development, your attitude about life, your philosophy, and your beauty. These are things that make you incredibly attractive, especially your philosophy about relationships. My number 2 tip for you is how to turn friends into lovers. This is one of my favorite things to do, one of my favorite things to teach. Because what you actually mean by trying to leave a relationship which has never gotten started is that you haven't actually progressed the relationship into somewhere you'd like. You haven't made any offers for the other person for them to answer. And so you're presuming that they wouldn't be into the things that you want for them to be, who you want for their relationship to be. You're afraid you might get rejected, is essentially what I'm saying. And so here's how you turn friends into lovers. I want you to make a proposition and make a non-burdensome proposition with your friend. You have a friend and you have a particular dynamic, presuming they are your friend and you are genuine friends. If you aren't genuine friends, you're merely acquaintances and they just merely know about you. You're not actually friends, you don't actually share the same values, and you don't actually have that dynamic that sometimes takes a long time to build. It wouldn't work. But if you're actual genuine friends, and if you aren't friends already, begin your relationship as friends. Be their friend, genuinely, authentically. And once you become friends, make a proposition to them and communicate with them that they are your friends. And because you are your friend, you have a particular dynamic and you like each other, you love each other as friends. And you would never change that for anything. This is a critical bit. You would never change that for anything, because what mostly happens for most people is that when they begin a relationship, that friendship goes away. And they no longer have that dynamic of being friends. And now they have to get into the roles and the burdens of being in a relationship dynamic. What you must promise them is that you will never get rid of that friendship. In fact, that is the most important thing to you and is something you really truly appreciate. And they might appreciate about their interaction with you. But certainly, they are a girl or they are a boy. And you are a boy and you're a girl. And that is a fantastic dynamic. And because you're a boy or you're a girl, and they are that sex in which you like, perhaps you're into the same sex, and you want to communicate that, you want to make that proposition that you never want to ruin your friendship, and you will never get rid of that friendship dynamic. But because they are the sort of person that you really like, you want to make them an offer. I want to make you an offer. I find you yummy. I find you incredibly attractive. But the most important thing for me is our friendship, and I will never want to get rid of that. And this doesn't require any hurry at all. But I want to make you the offer that I would never, and I know this because we are friends, that I would never, ever, ever fuck you over. But I would certainly gladly fuck you over and over. It's a very cheeky and light way to put that you're attracted to them and you would love to take them to bed without being very heavy, and not necessarily requiring from them that they hurry up and think about it now. Just recognize that you're friends, and because you're friends, you love them and you want for their happiness, well-being, and gain. What does that mean? It means that there is no jealousy at all involved, if they were ever to consider it. And just make that proposition for them that if they were, for example, to find another person who's also yummy, or they might even want a boyfriend, someone who is a boyfriend material or a girlfriend material, or perhaps they're looking for somebody who they want to marry. Great, because you want for their happiness, you'll help them do that. Make this light proposition with them and have them consider it. And on a long enough timeline, I like to say that I can have sex with all of my friends on a long enough timeline. So on a long enough timeline, there are many opportunities that will occur. Not necessarily now, but along your friendship, if you maintain that friendship and you maintain friends, attraction perhaps may occur if you endeavor yourself to enhance yourself to become an attractive, attraction-worthy person. They will find themselves attracted to you, and they will take on that proposition, and you will stick to your word and really want for their happiness, well-being, and gain, and never jeopardize your friendship for it. Hopefully that advice really helps you out. And my number 3 and top tip is I want you to enhance yourself in the realm and the area of relationships by reading the book Relationships 101 by Ronnie John. Search for it on Amazon.com. $9, well spent, the most important book you'll ever read. I'll talk to you in the next video. Share this video with other people. You'll help to make the world a better place. You'll help enlighten other people, which makes your world a better place. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below and click the like button. It helps me with the algorithm. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.